Hi, and today we're going to be doing a yoga flow that I think would be good for anyone, especially if you're coming back to yoga, but also if you're a beginner, and even if you're just someone who does other yoga classes but just wants to explore maybe a different kind of level. It should be really relaxing and really gentle with a little bit of strength work with our core as usual. So I hope you enjoy today. Okay, so we're going to find a place on the mat that just makes us feel comfortable. If you do have a block or a flat book, or maybe you could just sit on a pile of magazines, maybe you have a cushion or a blanket, I recommend sitting on them today so your hips are lifted and so it's a bit more comfortable for you seated cross-legged. If cross-legged is still not there for you, you can also just bring your legs out straight. It all depends on how you feel today. Maybe you just feel like you need to lie on your back for right now. Feel welcome to do that. Take your time, and when you're ready you can find a place of stillness. If you're a bit cold, feel free to put a jumper on or make sure you're comfortable with some socks. We're going to start here in this place, so make sure that you are ready to go. You can close your eyes here and you can begin to feel the sensation of the air around you. Maybe you bring your hands to the knees and maybe your palms are open or maybe they're face down. It all depends on how you feel in this moment. Notice the breath here first of all. How does the breath feel coming in and out of the nose? And then just become aware of any sensations that hit your skin. So maybe you can feel the block underneath your bum, the feel of your clothes on your skin, the air on your arms. Maybe it's cold, maybe it's warm. Just notice how you feel. And then if there is any more adjustments that you could do for yourself, just give them your attention for a moment, and then you can slip them away and they can become just something that is there and that we don't need to acknowledge anymore. And in this space, you're not in control of time, you're not in control of the things that are going on around you. You are just here for however long you need this yoga practice for. And remember, you do not have to do everything in the yoga practice. You're in control of what you do. That is the most important thing that you have in this space. You're in control of your body. So if you do not feel like doing certain poses, do not feel like you need to, just come to a place now where you're breathing gently through your nose. And notice where that air is travelling to. Coming in through the nose, coming down, maybe you can feel the coolness through your throat, and it comes all the way down into your lungs. Feeling the lungs expand and contract. Notice them. And then notice, how does the air, how does the oxygen, how does the breath go through the body? Can you feel any part of the breath travel from the lungs and go throughout the body? And this is giving you oxygen into your body, but this is also traveling through your blood and giving you nutrients, giving you strength, and giving you energy. So whatever time of day it is, maybe the energy is a cooling energy, maybe it's something that is going to help you slow down, or maybe it's the morning and you need something to keep going, to fire you up, to energize you. So whatever you need, you find it in this practice. And when you're ready, become again aware of that breath breath going through your nose, the air going through your nose, the air on your skin, and become aware of the seat underneath you. If you feel like maybe you've caved your back in, you've not been noticing your posture, maybe try and lift up, and then when you're ready, bring your hands to your heart center. And what we're going to do here is we're going to rub the palms of our hands together. Now you can hear the friction, but you can also feel it. You can feel your hands warming up here. Now when you get to a point where you feel like your hands are warm enough, cover your eyes, spread the fingers, and then gently open your eyes with the hands over them. Adjust to the light, and then remove the hands. See how you feel here. Take some breaths here. Take a moment here for yourself. We're going to lift our hands all the way up. Feel an expanse in the armpit space. And then bring them all the way down. Bring them up again. Spread the fingers and then bring them all the way down. One more time. Breathing in, spread the fingers, and breathing out, float them back down. Now we're going to lift the arms again, but this time we're going to come to a space which is kind of the mid-range. We're going to look towards the right hand. Then we're going to look towards the left hand. Then we're going to come back to center. Feel your fingers pull away from each other. Feel it so that your shoulders are very even with each other, so you're not collapsing to one side. You're completely straight through the right middle finger all the way to the left middle finger. Take a breath here and then bring the arms down. Take a moment for yourself here. And then from here, we're going to bring our left hand to our right knee. Our right hand's going to come behind us. We're going to come into a gentle twist. So then you're going to begin to turn your right shoulder back towards that right hand. Maybe it goes beyond, maybe it doesn't. And then just look wherever the neck falls naturally with the shoulders. Feel a twist in your spine. Breathe in, straighten the spine up towards the sky, and then as you breathe out, twist a little bit further. One more breath here. And then come back to center. Take a breath here. And then bring your right hand to your left knee. Your left hand comes behind you. Nice straight back again. And then begin to twist round wherever you may feel that your shoulder goes. And then your other shoulder will follow. Maybe the neck turns with the shoulders. Breathe in and out. Take one more breath, or you can come out whenever you need to. Then come back to center. Take a moment here, and then when you're ready, we're going to lift the right hand up. The left hand's going to come next to us, and we're going to pull the right hand up as high as we can, so our fingers are stretching towards the ceiling. And then lean towards the left side. Feel a stretch in your right side body, feel some compression in your left side body. Come back up, bring the right hand down, bring the left hand up, pull the fingertips away. You're already going to get a side body stretch as soon as you do that, and then you can begin to bend over. Try and feel this part of your ribs expand rather than collapsing it over. We want to continuously stretch this left hand up rather than just continuously going over, stretching it up and then over. Come back to center. Take a moment for yourself here, and then we're just going to do some seated cat-cows. So, especially if you've done yoga before, you are very aware of what cat-cows are. They are where we're going to be caving our chest in for cat and then arching our back for cow. And you can do this on hands and knees. We're going to do this on hands and knees in a moment, so if you want to watch now and just do it on hands and knees, that's fine, or you can do both. So we're going to really think about our shoulders while we do this, because for me it's a lot from the shoulders and from the tailbone. And so what we're doing when we come into our cat is that we're caving our chest in, our shoulders are coming forward at this point, and then we're beginning to feel the tailbone turn down toward the floor. Our core becomes engaged here, and then we're going to roll the shoulder blades back, roll the shoulders back, the tailbone tips up at this point, and now we're coming into an arched back. Breathing out, come back into your cat, where you're arching your back, you're caving your chest in, you're engaging your core. Breathe in, come back to your back bend, and breathing out. Breathing in, and breathing out. Come back to your center place, and we're going to do that now on hands and knees. So when you feel ready, come to hands and knees. If you have a wrist injury, maybe a knee injury, you can continuously do it seated, but I'm going to show the hands and knees. So if you do feel like you need a little bit of extra padding, feel free to have a blanket, and you can bring that under your knees or maybe under your wrists, like so. And if you want it under your wrists, you can just stretch it out a little bit further. So we're going to here do our cat-cows, but now we're doing it on hands and knees. So we're going to take a breath in and out to prepare ourselves. And then we're going to drop the belly. The tailbone's going to tilt upwards, and then we're going to bring the chin up. And now we're coming into our cow pose. Breathing out, tilt the tailbone down, tuck the chin. Breathing in, bring that tailbone up towards the sky again. So your hips are coming up towards the sky, your chin comes up, you drop that belly. And tilt the tailbone down again, engage the core. 2 more times, in your own time. And then you can move the blanket from under your knees if you've put the blanket there. And then from here, we're going to make our way all the way to standing. So we're going to roll the shoulders back, and we're going to feel our chest expand and open here. Take a breath here, and then bring your hands down to the side. Try and bring your hips over your knees, and your knees are over your ankles. Your shoulders are parallel with your hips, but you have that natural arch in the back. And your glutes can be slightly engaged here, so we don't want them to be completely relaxed here, because you are using your legs to keep yourself upright. And then we're going to bring our hands out, and you're going to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Here is your Tadasana, your first Tadasana of the practice. You can feel the floor underneath your feet, the mat, your toes gripping onto the mat. Take your breath here. Feel the breath come from the nose all the way down to the floor. Feel the sensation of your body again. Notice where that breath is travelling to. Maybe you can feel it in your fingertips, maybe you can feel it in your toes, maybe you can just feel it in your legs, or maybe it's just there in your chest or your belly. Notice where it is, but don't interact with what you're noticing. Now take a breath here. Open the eyes when you feel ready. And we are going to come into a wide-legged stance. So coming from the top of your mat, you're going to turn and you're going to come so you face the long edge of your mat. When you're there, think about bringing your feet so they're parallel with each other. Mine were not. So whatever's comfortable for you, the space between your feet could be the length of your leg. For me, it's not necessarily that. It just depends on how my hips are feeling on the day. So we're going to come in to Warrior Two. We're going to turn the right foot out so the toes face the top of the mat, and then we might turn this back foot in a little bit, or we might bring it out a little bit. Just making sure our hips try and face that long edge of the mat. Whatever's comfortable for you. Bend that front knee slightly and then bend it a little bit more. You can bring your hands to your waist, or if you're ready to, you can bring your hands up and so they come out, just like we did in the beginning, but our gaze is going to go to the front middle finger. Take a breath here. See how it feels. Try and make sure those hands are parallel to each other, so one's not coming back, one's not coming forward, so you have a nice neutral spine. And then from here, we're going to bring the front forearm to the thigh, and we're going to bring the back hand to the waist and bend towards that front leg so that you get a side body stretch. If you want this side body stretch to be a little bit more, you can lift this top arm, or maybe that's too much for you. Take a breath here. And then we're going to lift back up again. And we're going to turn this right foot back in so the feet become parallel again. Turn the left foot out. Again, just adjust that back foot. See where it needs to go. And your left knee needs to bend now. Try and make sure that your hips are still facing the long edge of the mat roughly. Then you can bring your arms out and you can bend that front knee a little bit more into your Warrior Two. Look towards that front middle finger. And then bring that front forearm, when you're ready, to the thigh. Bring the back hand to the waist. Try and open up the chest. If you feel like your chest is coming forward, try and bring that right shoulder and literally just try and grab it and move it back. See if you can get it so it feels in line with the other shoulder. You can look towards that shoulder as well if your neck feels okay with that. Then you're going to come all the way back up. Turn that back foot so it's parallel with the other foot again, and we're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold now. So when you feel ready in your position, this might mean you want to adjust your feet a little bit. We're going to bring our hands to our waist and we're going to fold forward. Feel the back of the leg stretch. You can have a little bit of a micro bend, and then you might drop the chin. Breathe here. And then push with the feet, come all the way back up to standing and step back to the front of the mat. We're now going to come into just a standard forward bend, but without the spread legs. So we're going to keep our feet hip distance apart. You can put them together if that's something that you do regularly. Personally, I like to teach with legs with feet apart. So bring yourself so your feet feel like they're underneath your hips. Bring your hands to your waist. If that's not something that you feel comfortable with, then you can always have them at heart center, or maybe you just have them down the side and they come with you. But I recommend having your hands at your waist for right now. Breathe in and breathe out. Come all the way forward, bend the knees a little bit. Feel the stretch in the back of your legs, then drop the chin. Bend your knees a little bit more. Maybe you can get your belly to the tops of your thighs, and maybe you can drop your hands down now. Then we're going to try and push through the feet all the way back up. Hands come to waist when you're ready. Come all the way back up to standing. Make your way all the way to your hands and knees again. So we're back on hands and knees and we're going to explore downward facing dog. Now downward facing dog is an incredibly popular one in yoga, and I'm going to give you a suggestion. If you're not comfortable pushing too much on your hands but you still want to get into the position, you can use bricks. You can use bricks that look like this, or you could get a very large book that's about this thickness, maybe a dictionary or something, or a copy of War and Peace. That works as well. Bring them so that close to the front of your mat, and then you can push up through the blocks. Your head can drop, and try and get those heels away from the floor. If that's not something that you want to try and you just want to do it by yourself, then you can not have the blocks and you can just push with your hands up into downward facing dog. Trying to get your hips as high as possible, but that doesn't mean we ground our heels. We want to be lifting our heels and trying to push our chest through our shoulder, through our armpit space. So our shoulders are getting stretched here. Find your breath here. Make sure that you're breathing. When you want to come down, feel the need to drop your knees. That's absolutely fine. And then we'll all come down now. Bring your toes together and drop back to your child's pose. You can keep your arms up near past your head, or you could bring them down to be by your feet. If you've got a space under your bum, you can bring a cushion there, like so that you can feel much more grounded in the posture. And then when you're ready, take a few more breaths here. We'll meet back in hands and knees. Make your way to your belly. So that might be just by bringing yourself down slowly. Or you could possibly go with your knees on the floor, bring your chest down and bring your chin. But that is harder, so if you don't feel like you can do that today, that's absolutely fine. Bring your right cheek to the floor. Take a breath here. We're going to come into Cobra. Just a baby cobra for today. Try and bring those elbows as close as possible. Your hands are by your ribs. They might not be by your ribs, but that's what's comfortable for me, so that's what I recommend. And then you're going to just lift your chest off the floor. Gaze comes down to the front of the mat. Breathe here. Come back down. We're going to do that 2 more times. When you get up, engage your glutes, engage your back muscles. Try and feel the gravity of your hips come down to the mat so you don't lift them up in any way. Push that chest up. Just the chest coming off the floor, the chest and the head. And then come all the way down. So you should be able to feel your lower ribs still on the floor. One more time, lifting up. Stay here maybe a little bit longer if you feel like it. Breathe in and out. And then when you're ready, come all the way back down. Take a moment. And then come all the way back to hands and knees. We're going to come into downward facing dog again. So if you need your blocks, get your blocks. Otherwise, we're going to push with our hands, push our hips up to the sky, pedal the knees out. So when I mean pedal, I mean try and drop one knee, drop the other knee. Your heels will come towards the sky of the one that you're dropping, and then the other heel will drop down a little bit, pedaling it out like you're on a bike. Making sure that your gaze is towards the back of the mat, the toes or the ankles. And then when you're ready, come back down to all fours. Bring the right foot up in however way you get there, that's absolutely fine. And we're coming into a low lunge. In our low lunge, we're just gonna think about this very strong pose. So if this is again not in your range of motion, don't feel the need to come into it. But we've got again, we've not got again, we haven't done it. We've got 90 degrees in our knee at the front and 90 degrees in the back. We've also got 90 degrees here with the two legs separated. It's nice and strong, and you can feel your front foot being nice and grounded in the ground. The back foot, you can either have the back foot so the ankle's having a stretch, or maybe the toes have a stretch. Whatever works for you. This works for me personally. I find it a bit more comfortable. However, it might just not be where you are at. And we're going to bring our left hand to the floor now. If it doesn't get to the floor, that's fine. You have your dictionary or your block. You can bring your hand to the block, and then you can come into a twist. If you can get it to the floor, then you still come into the twist. You're twisting your whole body to not the whole body, but the upper body towards the right leg. Breathe here. Come back to a neutral place. Come all the way back up. Drop the left, not the left foot, the right foot back, and you can come back into your all fours, however you might get there. Bring the left foot up now. We'll do this on the left side. So you're going to think about the rough angles of your legs here, 90 degrees here, 90 degrees there, 90 degrees here. Whatever works for you though. If this is really uncomfortable, you can bring that front foot a bit more forward, but then you get a bit of a groin stretch. So bring the right hand now to the mat or to a brick, and you're going to just stretch, twisting your body towards your left leg. So you're opening out that chest, and then come back to a neutral place. Bring that left foot back, and then make your way back to standing. We're just going to do a standing balance before we start to cool down. You're doing really well, so I hope you feel proud of where you're at with this flow at the moment. So we're going to do some standing balance. Now if you have a wall, they're rather wonderful, I'm going to be honest, they're rather wonderful. Anyway, so you can put your hand there if you need it, if you just need that little bit of support. Also if you have a chair, if a wall's not there for you. So, but if you don't want to do that, you can have your hands on your waist, and what we're going to do is we're just going to play around with lifting the foot and then moving it around our body just to see how we can strengthen that right leg. So, to begin with, you're going to bring the weight onto your right foot today, and you're going to bring your left foot forward so the toes still on the floor. You're then going to lift that left foot, come round to the left side, so it's coming round in a semicircle. Bring the toe to the floor, lift it up, bring it back, bring it down, so the toe's on the floor again, bring it up, and then bring it back to centre. And you can do that as many times as you want to. I'm going to do it 3 times more. So bring it forward. So bring it up, forward, round, down, up, round, down. Oh, I'm going to fall into. Oh, that's good. This side too. And then back to centre. Now I'm going to do the other side. So bringing my right foot up, and my weight's going to go onto my left side. Bring the right foot forward, up, round, down, up, round and down. Bring it back. Remember to breathe while you're doing this. So we want to keep that breath really fluid, and so it's not being stunted in any way. Bringing your foot back up, round, and just doing it in your own time, taking your time over it, remembering to breathe. And when you are ready, you can then find a place of stillness back to standing, or maybe you want to shake your legs out a little bit. Come back to hands and knees when you're ready. And then on hands and knees, we'll just do our downward facing dog one more time. Push with the hands. If you need those blocks, remember you've got them. And then come back down. Make your way all the way to seated. Bring your feet out straight. And so your legs are straight. But if you need that little bit of a bend, that's okay. Also, if you need a blanket under your knees, that is absolutely fine. This is a rather large blanket, I'd say. So that might be a bit more comfortable for you because then they're not dead straight. We're going to think about the spine for a moment. We're going to think about lifting up and then bringing the shoulders back. Now, you can put a block under your bum or a big book if you need, again, that lifting of the hips like we did at the beginning. However, I find that incredibly uncomfortable when I'm coming into twists, which is what we're about to do. So if you need it, use it. If it's not something for you, just like me, don't use it. So we're going to bring the right foot towards us, and our left foot is going to be flexing its toes like crazy, like all the way almost towards me. We're going to bring that right foot as close as we want it, so it might be near the calf or might be a little bit further up. And then we're going to bring the left hand to the right knee. We're going to remember that nice straight spine, and then twisting it round to that right leg. Bring your left hand behind you, look towards the right side. That's my right hand, sorry. Take a breath here. And then come back to centre. You can do that a few more times if you'd like, or you can stay a little bit longer. But I'm going to bring my right leg out. My left foot's going to come up now. I'm going to bring my right hand to my left knee and I'm going to twist around. Left hand's going to come behind me. I'm going to give a little bit of a push so my back's nice and straight, and I'm going to twist round. Breathing in, I straighten the spine. As I breathe out, I twist. And then when you're ready, come back to centre. Bring the legs out straight. Bring your hands by your thighs and you can walk down towards your feet. Drop the chin. Gentle forward fold. Come all the way back up. Take a moment here. And then make your way to the floor. So you're lying down. Bring the knees towards the chest. And then bring the knees out. Find that 90-degree angle and then bring the knees towards one side, then the other. Just a slow rock for right now. No stopping. Just take that moment really softly, really slowly. And then when you feel ready, you can come all the way to lying on your mat in your Shavasana. If you need your cushion under your head, feel free to put that there. And if you need your blanket to keep you warm, then feel free to find your blanket. And once we're in our Shavasana, in our comfortable posture, bring your hands so your hands face towards the sky. Take a moment here and then close the eyes. Let everything drop to the ground. Feel the gravity bring everything closer to the floor. Breathe here. And then we're going to just think about where that breath is going. So feel the breath coming in through the nose. Feel the breath coming through the nose, down, past the throat. Maybe we can hear the noise of the breath. Maybe it's not just a feeling. Feel the breath come in through the nose, through the throat, down to the lungs. Feel the lungs expand. Feel the breath come through the nose, past the throat, down to the lungs, and also feel it in the belly. And then with that breath, it's going to go throughout the whole body. So it's going to go all the way down to your little toes, all the way to your pinky fingers, and all the way to every part of the body that needs to relax right now. Take that breath and allow it to flow freely through you, and try and focus on it. So we do get a lot more thoughts than just our breath when we are in this posture. It's natural. But rather than trying to get rid of those thoughts, we're just going to try and place them to one side. Just pop them in a place where they can go, and maybe we can find them another day. And let everything relax down, because we're letting those thoughts not burden us right now. They'll come and they'll go, but it's when we notice them, it's when we put actual thought into them that we're fueling them up to invade this space. And we don't want to do that. We just need to know that they're there. They're not going to go anywhere. We can deal with them later. So we're going to put them in that box, and we're going to let them sit there, because they don't need to be acted on straight away. And then let everything continuously go to the floor. Breathe and let it all go. And then when you're ready, bring a little bit of movement to your toes and your fingers. Find that breath again that you most likely have lost, which is okay. Bring that breath to the movement. And then when you're ready, bring the knees towards the chest. Feel the lower back on the floor. Knees come to the chest. Open the eyes. And slowly wake your way back up to seated. Here in your seated, bring your hands together and slowly open your eyes when you feel ready. Thank yourself for getting on the mat and thank you for being here. I'm so grateful for your practice, and you should be grateful for your practice. Find gratitude for your body and for the movement that you've done today. I've got to turn it off, I can't bother to go over there because it's unhappy.
Okay, let's talk about my favorite fashion piece from the movie Clueless, but it's not Cher or Neon. It's Amber. Oh my god, Amber had the best fashion in the entire film. I don't care what anybody says. Everything she wore was next level. She wore fake pigtails to gym class with a gold chain purse to hold her water bottle. That's so stupid. This crimson nautical power suit with a dollar sign